Hello, welcome back to PSY-POD, the podcast about nothing, the podcast where we bring local people to have local vibes. We are just like getting beating from your zonkolebe after you messed up your shitting. Same energy. Anyways, today we have also, like always, we always have interesting people on the podcast. So could you kindly look into our camera and say hello to our local and international fans?
Yeah, Kuzuzambola. It's Emma Slade, Ani Pema Deki, here in Thimphu.
Okay, thank you so much. All right. With that being said, live from Juno Studios, PSY-POD starts now.
PSY-POD, 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 PSY-POD.
All right, before this podcast begins, a special shout out to our sponsor, Global Reach, a trusted name, a trusted brand, helping you connect with all universities abroad since 2004. So if you guys are considering to study abroad or already planning to study abroad, why don't you go with Global Reach? Because they're connected with many universities in countries like Australia, America, Canada, New Zealand, to name a few, plus many more. Especially in Australia, where they've been connected with 40 universities. Yes, 40 universities. And not only that, they'll help you with their certified counseling and their transparent guidance, plus extra services like helping you with your health insurance, flight ticketing, and bank account setup. Basically, everything's covered all under one roof. So if you guys want to get in touch, you can contact them through their website, their social media links, or even visiting their offices in Thimphu and in Pinseling. Global Reach, a trusted name, a trusted brand. Now, back to the episode. Right, before we begin, just a big shout out to DOMCIIP for supporting this podcast, and with the hardware especially. And Ani, what would you prefer, me calling you Emma or Ani Pema?
I like Ani in Bhutan.
Okay. It's also a little slightly honorific.
Yeah.
So anyways, Ani, if you could kindly look up. Right now you don't see nothing. But
Okay.
in post-production, you'll see a bunch of names floating because these are our podheads. These are our lovely patrons which help support this podcast from abroad. So thank you so much, our podheads, our lovely members. We appreciate you. And if you want to be a podhead, please check the link in the description or press the join button. You get things like early releases, badges, my token of appreciation, whatever. Good karma for the next life. Anyways, also if you want to be a podhead pro like these guys, who can check Pema Samdrup Doti, they're an upgraded version of a podhead. So there's a podhead pro, just like an iPhone, there's a pro version.
Just saying pod, not pod, right?
Yeah, pod.
Yeah.
Like pod. Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Yes,
Just checking.
Yes, but
Okay.
yeah, it is a pun. I like it. When I wanted to name the listeners,
Yeah.
the option was either a podhead or an air conditioner. And now you would wonder why air conditioner, right? Because we say we are fans, right? So I say you guys are more than fans.
I
You are
see.
air conditioners.
Okay.
But they didn't like that one. They kept podhead. Okay. Okay. Yeah. If you want to be a podhead pro, you get a special shout out like them. And also shout out to Global Reach, our sponsor. If you want to study abroad, please check their website by scanning the QR above. Yes, you can study abroad. That's okay. Remember, that's all for the sponsor read. Thank you so much for coming. I know you're very busy.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
But you recently went on the walk, right?
Yes.
Is the walk done?
Yeah, walk done.
Okay.
Oh yeah, walk done. I'm
Walk.
trying not to walk now.
Okay,
I
great.
feel like I walked enough for the rest of my life.
Okay, but
Yeah.
okay. So for those who don't know, can you give us a little information about what this walk was and what it was meant for?
Sure. So I walked from Ha to Tashigang, crossing 12 mountains, which is the elevation equivalent of climbing Mount Everest 2.5 times.
Whoa.
Which is not something you expect a nun to do,
Yes.
right? Especially not in robes.
Okay.
And we raised 10 million Nulchum, 100,000 pounds so far for
Nice.
children in Bhutan,
Okay.
and especially those with additional needs.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really tough.
Mm-hmm.
And we walked through a cyclone, and we tented at sub-zero temperatures. And it was probably the hardest, most amazing thing I've done in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't be doing it again.
So how did you track how much you were walking every day?
So, the distance is like around 16, 17 kilometers.
Okay.
But it's not the distance. It's all about the altitude.
Oh.
And they're going up and they're coming down, right? And that's why we called the campaign "A Woman with Altitude."
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
you see, a bit like
you also like
podcasts.
puns.
Yeah,
They love a
exactly.
few puns
Yeah,
here and there.
yeah.
But were you walking alone, or did you have people
Now I had
accompanying?
Ugyen with me, Ugyen who runs the charity here in Bhutan,
Okay.
and it's like my right-hand person.
Yes, okay.
And we had Pemba, p.tshering, and he has done the whole stretch 4 times. So he's the most experienced person in the world to have done the Trans-Bhutan Trail.
Okay.
So he made sure we didn't get lost, because I'm very good at getting lost. Yeah.
Okay, but we're not good at getting found.
Ooh, nice.
Deep one.
Yeah, I'm
But
gonna think about that.
one thing is like, so when you do like this kind of like what do you call walks for good causes,
Yeah.
like, I don't really know how it works. Like you're saying you're doing for charity, so you're doing the walk and you're getting donations. So how does that work? So if people see your story, they wait,
Yeah.
I saw that nun walking, so here's a link. I'll get the link now.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Okay,
So
all
there
right.
was like a Just Giving campaign.
Okay.
And there was also local donors who donated straight to Draxo or offered donations to me, which I then obviously give to the children. So yeah, it's not very complicated. I think mostly people donated because they believed in the cause, but they also realised just how tough it was, what I was doing, and so to help keep me going, and it really did help keep me going because it was really not easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
But how long did it take in trial?
37 days.
37
Yeah,
days, sorry.
yeah.
So did you take breaks in between, or was it every day you're walking for 37 days?
No, we had 4 rest days, I think.
Okay.
But on those rest days, we did things like dental camps. We brought dentists to rural communities.
Okay.
And we did some other events for special needs children. So, yeah, it was not like we're hanging out in a spa. You know, we're still quite full on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what, like, how did you come up with the idea? Like this woman with altitude idea. Like, what made you think you wanted to do this version of like a fundraising campaign? Why you wanted to do this for the children with disabilities, right? So why was it for them, and why this idea?
So I could say a few things about that. Actually, the idea came to me when I was halfway across a bridge in London. And it was like a very crazy, you know, London's like 8 million people. It's like people are rushing by, nobody's talking to each other, everybody's on their headphones, their heads are down, right? And it was a typical kind of crazy London day. And I was obviously in my robes walking across this bridge. And just as I got to the middle of it, everything kind of was still. And I thought, I'm going to walk across Bhutan. And that was that.
Really?
Yeah. So sometimes in life you get these
divine intervention.
thunder moments, right? You get these thunder moments. Whenever I get them, and I've had a few of them, I just listen to that and I do it.
Okay.
So that was that.
Okay, but then why for the children with disabilities? Why
Because
particularly
my charity, Opening Your Heart to Bhutan, has worked to help children with disabilities here in Bhutan for 10 years now.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that and charity. Why this charity for the this cause especially?
I guess something around the difficulty of lives for people who struggle to walk or struggle to speak, or am I burning my robes?
I think.
I might be burning my robes on the heater. I actually burnt my shamta halfway along the walk, which was a bit awkward.
Okay.
So I seem to be good at burning shamtas. Let's not do that again.
The nun on fire. That sounds like
The
a
nun
better
on
time.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds
Well,
more.
you know, my
That's
name
a-
is Emma, which
yeah.
we know is chili, right? So, you know, I mean, really.
Spicy nun.
Yeah, spicy.
Okay.
Hot. Yeah, I'm not going to say hot nun. That sounds super bad, right? That's not the kind of nun I'm trying to be here. Let's just get that right.
All right, back on the.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's so easy for us all to take for granted all the talents and good fortune we have in this life. I'm sure you just like, you get up, you move around, you talk to people, you do this, you do that. Your life's like this, right? And so for people whose lives are not that easy, where walking takes real effort and thought, or speaking takes incredible courage and thought, then I just thought, for these people, I can do something, right? Because I'm quite fiery and determined. And I just thought I can advocate for them, be a voice for them and help them.
Okay, great. So 10 years is this organization has happened. So what have you done in this past 10 years?
Millions of things. I mean,
let's hear some few.
Yeah. So we've played the main role in building the first purpose-built special needs school in Bhutan, which is in Tashigang.
Okay, nice.
So the end of the walk, I didn't realize at first, the end of the walk is like half an hour from the school that we've built.
Oh, okay. Very
So we
nice.
walked from the west to end up at that school that we've built.
And how's
Yeah.
the school?
How is the school?
Yeah, how is the
it's huge and amazing.
Really? How many
Please
kids?
visit it. It's in Kanglung,
How many kids are there?
68.
68. So is this all like all kinds of disabilities? So is it like, do you need special teachers to teach a special type of group of kids? Because
Yeah.
I would assume that since they're all having different disabilities, cannot one solution fixes all. It's not going to work.
To a certain extent, but teachers, if you're going to teach a child with any kind of additional needs, the main quality you need is patience. You need to be kind and patient.
Okay.
And sometimes you can't even teach that in a course, right?
Yeah.
That's the main ingredient you need.
Do you have patience, Ani Pema?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, I have some patience. I think I learned some patience on the walk, but I am keen to not hang about. You know, I'm keen to help in the world, and I'm keen to make progress as a nun. So I'm probably not the most patient person that you could ever meet. Yeah.
You think you need to work on that, or you're okay with your level of impatience?
No. I mean, I don't want to say I'm impatient. I don't
Okay.
want to say I'm actually impatient.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you know, I have more potential to be slightly more patient than I am right now.
Okay.
But yeah, of all the parameters, the patience is the one I struggle with.
Yeah. I also struggle with patience. But then again, just breathe. I do that. I do the breath work. Yeah, and then okay. Now let's focus. Because I also am very hyperactive. So sometimes like my brain is thinking at 3x speed and my mouth is moving at 1x. So it's hard for those two to match.
Yeah, I can resonate with that.
Yeah. So then I feel like I really want to say this, but wait. Okay, calm down. So I think that.
Do you think patience is overrated?
No, I think it's really good. I think it's really good. I think when you take things slow, then you can at least. No, it's cliche, but stop and smell the roses. You know, stop and smell the roses. Rather because, like I said, the tattoo now, right? Now, it's like when you're so fixated on it, the past or a future goal, you don't appreciate what's here right now. So right now, like for example, I sound so preachy, but like a heater, you know, enjoy the warmth, enjoy the conversation. I would try my best not to have my mind focus on elsewhere, try to be present. So I think that kind of is patient in a way, because you're not trying to worried about thinking about something else.
I think being patient when things are nice, when there's heat, when you're enjoying the conversation, that's a different thing from being patient when it's cold and you're not enjoying the conversation.
Yes.
Then how does it go?
Then that's difficult. But that's the practice. Like I think we talked about it. If things come easy, it's boring.
Yeah.
Easy come, easy go. But things with this, then I think if I was cold right now and I didn't have the conversation, the patience would be very painful and hard to endure. But I'm sure after that, I would learn to appreciate it more rather than right now. Maybe that's what I would look at it.
Okay, good luck.
No, because at least funny enough, last week I had to wait for a friend outside in the cold, and I was wearing similar clothing. I only had one layer, and maybe wait for an hour. And that time I learned a lot of patience. So yeah, that is. Okay, anyways, let's go back to you, Ani Pema. Let's hear, at least for those who don't know of your story, at least I know a little bit. I also don't know to the full extent, but like what kind of like triggered you to become a nun? How was your life before the robes? And then how did you make your way to Bhutan? So can you just give us a little bit of a touch on all that?
All right, but I'll only do it if you make it interesting, because I am so bored with my
Don't
own
worry,
story.
I will make it interesting. You want me to add dramatic music in the background?
I want something here to, liven it up.
Okay,
right?
all right.
So there's two versions of this story.
Okay, let's hear both.
Okay, first version. First version is that I was born in a house with a Buddha.
Ooh, okay.
Is that the way we're going to make it dramatic?
No.
Spooky sounds.
No, at least a person who's living in England to be born with a Buddha, that's not very common, at least I would assume.
Yeah, with a lying Buddha.
Okay.
And in fact, I was very interested in this Buddha figure from a very early age, actually, and I asked for this Buddha to be placed in my room.
Okay.
And I really wanted to find out about Buddhism, and I was particularly interested in meditating, which I did from a young child. Although nobody called it meditating, obviously. Yeah. So there is one story where actually this is how I was always meant to be, right? So that's one story, I think. I guess to ensure that I got on that path fully, certain things had to happen. And probably one of them, which is the turning point that always, people are interested in because it's kind of a bit unusual, is, when I was in a very high-powered job as a senior financial analyst in Hong Kong, I went on a business trip to Indonesia to interview various state-owned enterprises that we had investments in. And I was in a very nice hotel, and somebody knocked at the door like this, and I opened the door, and there was a person with a gun there. I think you know that, and pushed the gun into my center of my chest. Obviously, I was a bit taken aback, not expecting this. And in the end, I got trapped in this room with him.
Oh, you were taken on hostage?
Yeah, for a
Oh.
while. And it was very terrifying. And obviously, many things happened during that time and afterwards in terms of recovering from it. And that's like 1 + 1 = 2, and eventually equals being a nun. There it is. That's the maths.
Okay. But then to ask maybe a little bit deeper. So I hope I'm not trying to trigger any past traumatic memories, but how long was that whole ordeal at least?
So I'm not sure how long it went on for. It was light outside when the door knocked, and it was dark when I escaped. So it all happened in one evening, from late afternoon through to the late evening. But I actually don't know how long it went on for. I've never known.
What was the intention? Yeah. They were trying to get some money out of you, or they were trying to kidnap you? What was the whole thing?
Yeah, they were trying to rob me, which they did pretty easily. It doesn't take long to rob somebody in a hotel room. It's not like you've got to go very far, right?
Yeah.
And I
didn't check out the peephole, see who's there?
Don't. That's the thing.
So maybe it was meant to happen. You know.
That's the thing. And that's when you have something like that and you kick yourself afterwards, like, if I'd only.
But then there's no point thinking that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so I had a Cartier watch and various quite nice jewelry at that point. So he took all of that. But, you know, for some reason, he didn't want to leave. And he had put me in a corner. I was bent in a corner. And he kept walking back and forward to me. I couldn't look up at him. I just saw his shoes coming back and forth to me, right? And squeaking. His shoes were very squeaky. Right? And I didn't really understand. He was obviously thinking about doing something. And I found out later he had 2 serrated knives tucked into his trouser belt. So I guess he must have been thinking about really, really harming me, right? But I mean, at the time, I don't know what he's doing, right?
Okay. Was he communicating with you? Was he trying to? Like saying, like, show me some money or something like that? Or was he like, he didn't even care, he just go to the corner?
No, he got my credit card out of he went through my handbag and he got my credit card out. And then he said my name. He said, Emma Slade. You're Emma Slade. And then I thought, okay, this has to do with the business that we're doing in Indonesia.
Okay.
Because I'd been there interviewing people and I'm quite a ruthless financial analyst. There was a lot of problems at that point with money and etc. So I thought he had probably been sent because of the business things we were doing.
Wow, a corporate hit.
Yeah, and so he was checking that he'd got the right person.
Okay.
Right?
So you thought he was a hitman, he's going to kill you?
Well, why else would he be there?
Okay, yeah, but
it sounds really very,
yeah, it sounds
right?
very.
So he was like checking my identity with my credit card.
Verify whether he's that
you're
person.
Emma Slade?
Yeah.
And I said yes, you know.
Okay.
So I don't know. Anyway, but we ended up trapped together in this room because at one point he just didn't want to leave. I didn't really understand. Obviously, I didn't understand what was going on. He would pace around the room a lot. He sweated a lot. You know, his smell was very kind of like I could really smell him like some. You know, I think when you're in that kind of situation, your sort of animal instincts kick in, right? Everything is exaggerated. All those senses are exaggerated, right?
Adrenaline, maybe.
Yeah. And then at one point, the telephone in the room went, right? And I didn't know what to do. And I kind of looked at him, and he said, pick it up, right? And so I picked up the phone. This is before, I mean, obviously there were BlackBerries at this point. There wasn't, I don't think it was really iPhones. This is a proper phone. I don't know if you've ever seen a proper phone. Imagine a proper phone, right?
I've used.
Yeah. And that was very tricky for me because he was there.
Okay.
And I was here, and I didn't know if he could hear the conversation on the phone.
Okay.
And it was the hotel saying, we've heard reports of screams in your room. Are you okay? Right? And then I'm thinking,
no, you say no.
What do I say? Because he's there, right? And they said, so then I didn't answer because I didn't know
what to say.
Because he might or shoot me if I
say the wrong thing.
So I said nothing, and then they said, do you need some help? And I just said yes, like that.
But in a tone like yes,
like I'm fine, kind of thing. And they said, okay, we're coming.
Okay.
And so I just went and put down the phone, like hoping that he hadn't understood or heard, right?
Yes.
But then they took such a long time to come. And so then they didn't come.
What?
And that
Plot
was,
twist.
Yeah, the plot twist, drama. And that was very hard because then I thought, oh, this is just a setup. Like they're in it and they're not coming. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. And I started to feel very despondent. Like I've been left here and my parents, not my parents, my mum, dad was already dead, but my mum, she doesn't even know where I am right now. And I'm going to just die in this room. Anyway, and then, so then eventually, and I don't know how long it took them, basically what was happening is, I didn't know this, was that they were clearing the whole corridor of people. They were quietly clearing everybody that was on that floor, right?
So they understood the situation which was
They
happening.
understood something bad was going on, right?
So they like, let's clear the other area. Then
so they didn't come to see me. They cleared the they
which was a
cleared
mistake.
they cleared the area, right?
Okay.
So I was left there with him, right?
Oh, okay.
And anyway, so then eventually somebody came to the door and they knocked on the door, and they're like a member of staff from the hotel, looking very smart, like some 1920s butler. I don't know what really, you know. And so he was behind me with the gun in my back, and they're there, and you know, they said, you know, everything all right, madam? You know, can we do anything? And you know, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say, right? Yeah. And so, you know, no, that's fine. And then they just went away again.
Oh.
And they just went away, and I had no idea, you know. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway. I think at that point, he realized that they knew. I think he realized that they knew. And so he got quite agitated. And then he asked me if he could have a cigarette.
Wow, what a...
Because I still smoked at that point.
Okay.
Can you believe it?
And then he saw...
so bad, right? So there was a pack of Camel cigarettes on the desk, right? But he asked me if he could smoke. So at that point, a complete power change happened.
I was going
right?
to say
He
that.
asked me if he could have one of my cigarettes, having robbed me. It was like crazy, right? So I could tell something had shifted in the room, right? The power had shifted in the room. And I said, yeah, sure, go ahead. And then he asked me, did I want one too? Right? So I said, yeah, sure, you know. And so then we smoked the cigarette together. It's the most bizarre thing to happen when you're a hostage taker and you share the cigarette, right? And I think after that, something really shifted. And then he decided, because I was in a swimming costume with a bathing robe over it, because I had been going to go for a swim.
Oh, you were about to go for a swim when this happened. Okay.
Yeah. And so then he said, I went crazy. He said, right, we're going to leave together. We're going to go to the lift. And if anybody asks, we're going to say that we're going swimming. And I'm like, okay, all right, whatever, right, okay, I'll go along with that. Because I just wanted to get out of the room. I just wanted to get out of the room, And so then what happened was that I went to open the door, right? I went to open the door. And he was in my back with a gun, right? So, but somehow he thought we were going to get out of this door together, walk to the lift, go to the swimming pool. I mean, I just...
He doesn't really have a good game plan.
I don't think he has a good gauge on anything right now, right? And, so as I open the door, right, he's behind me to that side. As I open the door, and my peripheral vision, all down the corridor, I can see crouched army, people with enormous guns on both sides of the corridor, right? And I know for a split second that he can't see it.
Oh, okay.
Just for that split second.
Calculating.
And it's a moment where you don't think, your instincts take over.
Okay.
Right? I didn't cognitively think, run. I just ran.
Well, maybe that was fight or flight moment kind of situation.
So I ran, and the army and the police piled in behind me into the room where he was.
Wait a minute, but then I thought you managed to chase away the police staff or something.
No. I ran down the corridor, right? Completely freaked out, thinking I was going to be shot in my back at any moment, right? I just imagined I was going to be shot. Right?
Okay.
And as I ran, the people along the corridor, the army or whatever it was with big guns, they they came in behind me to get him.
So, okay, now the situation is done. Did they explain like what, like, they were ready to make a rescue attempt or something like that? Or was it like they had no idea what was going on?
They didn't know what was going on.
Okay.
But obviously when they knew that I was a guest in the hotel, they knew there'd been screams. And they obviously realised that I'd been taken
Oh, really?
hostage.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Do you think it's confusing then? Does it sound confusing?
It sounds confusing because you told me that the hotel staff came and then you managed to convince them to go away.
Well, I just kind of went, like that with my
Oh,
face.
okay, so
I don't know
they're
what
like,
my face did.
Okay, so they're
right?
like,
but I mean, it's
something's off.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
something's
I
off.
was kind of like, I mean, I just don't know what expression I did on my face, but it was my way of saying, help me, please, without being able to, because he couldn't see my face, right? He was behind me. He could hear if I said anything.
But you could be like, are you okay?
No, I'm
fine, I'm fine.
I don't know what I did with my face, but I tried really hard to show that it was not okay.
Okay. So at least maybe they got some read on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So then there is another bit I'll tell you about. But anyway, so later I discovered, which was very shattering, later I discovered that the same guy had attacked another Western woman in that hotel a few days earlier.
And he got away with it.
And gotten away with it.
Okay. So this was the second attack on a spree.
So somebody somewhere was involved.
Oh.
The hotel had to know, right?
Because how did he pick the exact place where another Western woman would be? That's his MO, is it?
So I don't know, but it was so I think it was more complicated really than I ever understood. But not to be recommended basically, Sai.
No.
Not to be recommended as an experience.
Of course.
Yeah.
But then then what happened after that?
After that, then you mean that day, that night?
No, after the experience, like then, I at least from what I've read, you told me that was the triggering moment where you thought like, okay, life is not as what you think it is. I need to start maybe looking into Buddhism. At least that's what I read. So
I had two experiences. First, in the very beginning, when I was crouched on the floor with a gun at my head, and I expected to just die. That very moment, right in the beginning, I felt this. I kind of left my body and felt this extreme sadness that I had done nothing good for the world.
Okay.
Right? And that was one moment. And then afterwards, the army and the hotel people and whatever, they took me up, high up in the hotel, and they showed me a Polaroid picture of my hostage taker. And he was, because as I ran down the corridor and they came in, there was a lot of gunfire.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a lot of gunfire.
Oh, there was a gunfight. Oh.
Yeah. So I was very freaked out because I was running down the corridor thinking I was going to be shot, and there was a lot of gunfire. Right?
Okay. So was he shot? This man?
So all I know is I saw the Polaroid, and he was now slumped, like down the wall of the hotel room, and there was streaks of blood above him, and he was in his underpants.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, so they showed me this picture because they were very happy with it, and they thought I'd be very happy to see this picture.
Yeah,
right? They'd done really well, and I, and at that moment, I just kind of left my body again, and I saw like a web of suffering, and like all of us were suffering.
Yes.
Like he was suffering, I was suffering, the policeman was suffering. It was just a web of suffering. There was none of the suffering was any different, actually, to be honest. And so I had this kind of feeling of, I had that understanding at that moment, and all I felt was this really huge wave of what you would call compassion, I guess, right? And that surprised me. Because I thought, I don't know, I thought I'd judge somebody. I mean, maybe it sounds like I'm judging the policeman, but in that moment I wasn't. We were all just in the same web of suffering. I think that moment had a big impact on me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
those two moments.
okay, all right.
The sadness in the room.
Okay. So
that I hadn't done anything, and then this response to suffering, those moments had a big impact on me, and I think they were the things that were the seeds to propel me to think again about my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dot, 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 plus,
Yes.
plus, plus equals none.
Okay. So, okay. Before we get to the nun part, so then now this just happened. Now you're going back to London, I assume. Oh, so Hong Kong, right?
Yeah, so
So you go to Hong Kong, you're back in your job, or are you having like a period where you just want to like, let me get some time off, deal with this?
Yeah.
So during this process, you're like, wait a minute, I'm done with this. I want to try something new. Or it was like, did it happen like that, or is it like a gradual progression?
Yeah. So I think I thought I could just pull myself together and carry on because I'm that kind of person.
Okay.
I remember I'm like a senior financial
Yeah.
analyst.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
walking around in suits.
Boss
and
bitch, I'm the one.
okay. Bloomberg screens, FX, buy, sell, right? So I carried on with my meetings there in Indonesia. I had a bodyguard. I was assigned a bodyguard.
Oh, you were
Yeah.
able to continue the meetings. Wow.
Yeah,
that's-
I'm not somebody who gives up easily.
Okay,
right?
wow, but nice.
And so, I got a huge bodyguard. This man like filled a whole room, right?
Okay.
And he did my meetings. He stayed with me, and he eventually took me to the airport. And I went back to Hong Kong, and I really just thought, okay, you know.
Okay.
But as the days went on, then I started to experience very bad flashbacks, and
It's PTSD.
yeah.
Okay.
And then eventually I realized I couldn't carry on being the person that I was because
This has changed you.
yeah. Yeah. And I also needed to properly recover from it. You can't just go,
Yeah.
okay, right, I'm back on track.
Let's go.
You know, that was Tuesday, let's have Wednesday, right?
Okay.
So there was a whole period of recovery. I decided eventually to leave Hong Kong and I returned to the UK and many episodes after that.
Okay. So then were you always like, you said there's a lying Buddha statue when you were growing up, but up until that point were you like at least like looking up some stuff?
Yeah, I'm trying to. But, you know, we're in 1970s England.
Okay.
You know, I had one book with a brown torn cover about Buddhism with a seated Buddha on it.
Okay.
And but that's all I could find. There's no internet. There's no.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Okay.
it's like very hard, right? So I
Okay.
just tried to teach myself to meditate, and but very difficult. But obviously in Bhutan, in Hong Kong, when I left Hong Kong, I had bought two statues, one of a monk and one of a nun,
Okay.
in Hong Kong. And when I left Hong Kong, they were the only things I took in my hand luggage.
Okay.
The only thing I took, because I said, I need to get out of here now.
Okay.
And so they were what I took back home with me. And the rest of my stuff came later.
Okay. So then you go back and now you're thinking, wait a minute, like you said, I've done nothing good for the world, I want to do something good. So then is that the point where you started getting really into the Buddhist texts and teachings?
No, I had to recover first, right?
Okay.
You know, there's a special process of recovery, mental recovery for people who have experienced extreme trauma, which has been life-threatening.
Okay.
And so I had to go through that process because basically the mind wants to deny that it's happened.
Ah,
right?
okay.
It wants to put it out there, like in another room,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And then you try to ignore it, right?
Yeah.
And then the more you try to ignore it, the more it goes, no, listen to me. This is what happened.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah.
this. This is how he smelled.
Okay,
This
okay.
is how he sounded. This
Okay,
is what it was like running down the
oh.
corridor, right? Very difficult.
Okay. Yes.
So you kind of have to integrate that experience into the whole of your mind in order to carry on properly. So I had to go through that process. Yeah.
Okay.
And then after that, then I think some steps happened after that. But I can't say that I went from being held hostage to being a nun. It wouldn't make sense
Yes,
either,
yes,
to
it
be
wouldn't.
frank. You know.
But then how long do you think it took for you for at least to say, okay, now I'm in a spot where I think I'm okay? How long do you think that took? Or you think you're never fully okay?
No, I'm definitely okay. I'm definitely okay now. Definitely I'm okay now. But it took a lot longer than you might imagine. Yeah, to really, because like for a long time, if anybody came up fast behind me, I found it very difficult.
It's going to trigger
Yeah, I
something.
found it
Or
very
maybe if you hear
difficult.
something squeaky or
Yeah.
a similar smell.
Yeah,
something
no, it's more somebody came up fast behind me,
Okay.
and I couldn't see them, and they just came up fast behind me or
yeah,
touched
yeah.
me here. I didn't like. I found that
So
very
you
difficult
became
for
very
a
like
while.
flinchy. You're like,
Yeah.
okay,
That physical response that took a while to get over.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then let's fast forward a little bit. Then when did the decision came? Like, okay, now detach, going to be a nun.
I don't know. I know we like these very fast decisions, and we do sometimes have them. Like I say, those thunder moments happen, right?
Okay.
But I think mostly life happens as a process, right?
Okay.
Things happen like more as a process. So it was when I came to Bhutan in 2011, my first visit to Bhutan.
Okay, and that was as a tourist or business?
I came as a yoga teacher.
Okay.
Because I'd been teaching yoga for a long time by that time, because that was the path I took after leaving finance.
Okay.
And so I came as a yoga teacher who had meditated quite a lot, but wanted to really understand a lot more. I'd already become a Buddhist many years before, so I was already kind of ready. I was already ready, if that makes sense. And then I met Lama Nima at Dorji,
Okay.
out there at the temple with the 108 chotens, and that was a big moment in my life. And it was a year later that he told me, now you change your dress. So it was his idea.
Okay, but you were like, he was like your teacher, and then you were onto like this thing, teachings and practicing. Okay, so under his recommendation, or was it like his command? Now you must change robe. Now become plumb to the curl.
It didn't feel like a recommendation. It pretty much felt like a very strong suggestion.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, but that's nice for me because I didn't have to sit around thinking, shall I be a nun? Shall I not? Shall I do this? Shall I not? I just trusted his strong advice. Yeah.
Okay. And then how long has it been now since you've been at
13 years I've been a
13
nun.
years.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you tell us lay people, like what is it like to be a nun after living a very, what's the word? Free life, so to speak, in terms of like, traveling the world, having a high paying, very interesting job, and then completely having a 180 degree and living a simple life as a nun in Bhutan.
I'm not your typical nun. Let's get that correct.
Okay.
I'm not your typical nun.
Okay, fine.
Right? Yeah.
Fair.
So I think we should establish that first. I have lived behind boundary walls. I've lived in monastic settings.
Okay.
But now I don't because I'm mainly concentrating on solitary retreat. But, I wrote a book. I founded a charity, which I've run for 10 years.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think I'm your typical nun. And to be frank, so first of all, I have to own up to that.
Okay,
right?
fair enough.
I think obviously I've given up a lot. I've changed a lot. I think that only feels real to me when I imagine that if that incident hadn't happened in Jakarta, if I hadn't been held hostage, I'd probably be a chief investment officer of a major bank right now. I'd probably be quite wealthy with some nice pad in London or New York or something, right? Yes. I think the reality of what I've given up only really occurs to me when I see that when I imagine what would have happened if Jakarta hadn't happened and I had carried on being a senior financial analyst, we were investing $1 billion.
Ooh.
I was helping to invest $1 billion at that point. It's like, when you imagine the path that you didn't take, then I think it's clearer to me the gravity of the decisions I made. I don't know what to say. What's it like being a nun for a lay person? I guess your life is more focused truly on helping others, serving others, thinking less of what can I get, what do I want, what can I get, right? Which is basically what life is often like for people. I think you hold yourself to quite high standards. It's terrible when you make a mistake as a monastic. It feels awful when you feel some moment of impatience or anger, right? Because you're trying to hold yourself to much higher standards, it's definitely the right thing for me. I don't think it's the right thing for everyone.
Yeah.
I don't think being a monastic makes sense for everybody.
Yeah. But do you think it makes sense to you now?
It does. Yeah, it does.
Okay. And do you think you're more content, more happier with this lifestyle than you were before?
While suffering exists, it's hard to feel content or happy, right? Especially helping these children in Bhutan. I think the best of me is being brought out in monastic clothing, but I'm not finished yet, right?
Okay. But then, let's say when you're finished with at least the goals you have, do you think then you'll be
Well, that's Buddhahood, isn't it?
fulfilled? Huh?
That's Buddhahood.
Okay. But let's say some tangible goals. Let's say build a school, raise this much X amount of money for Bhutan. Now I go on self-retreat. Now you feel like, okay, I've done what I can for the causes I wanted to achieve. I've done everything I can for my personal life. Do you think now you could say, well, yeah, I think I'm content with life. I'm happy with life. I'm okay.
I mean, if we want to be content with samsara, it's a different thing, right?
Yeah.
Is that what we want?
So do you want to liberate?
Well, that's the idea, isn't it?
Yes, that is the idea.
That is the idea.
That is the idea. So you would like to.
Yeah, how could you not?
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
that's the master plan.
Yeah, but there's
right?
also bodhisattvas which choose not to liberate so they can come back and help people.
I think they reach a state of liberation
Yeah.
in which they can then choose to come back.
Okay.
But I don't think we want to say a bodhisattva isn't liberated.
I think they are.
They are liberated from the forces of karma and mental afflictions, and then they choose to come back, right?
But they have not reached nirvana. No. They keep coming back for samsara.
They have liberated.
Really?
Yeah. The 10th level bodhisattva is free of karma and mental poisons, right? And they choose to come back.
Okay. All right. I'm not an expert on the situation.
Well, I
so
mean, it gets
I'll
tricky,
understand.
this 10th level bodhisattva and Buddhahood, right? Whether
Okay.
it's like, it is a different thing, but then da-da-da-da-da. But I think I wouldn't want to say that a 10th level bodhisattva was still suffering in samsara. We can't say that. Right?
Okay. But then this is a little hard question maybe. A simple question to ask but hard question to answer is, what does Buddhism mean to you?
What does Buddhism mean to me?
Yeah, what does it mean to you?
What do you mean by that? You
Like,
mean
for
how
example,
would you define Buddhism?
No,
Is that
what does it
you're
mean to
saying?
you?
No. What does it
Like,
mean to
when
me?
you say Buddhism, you can tell people it's a religion from Asian people which we practice so and so and then try to achieve so and so. But then what does it mean to you? How do you what's your personal relationship with it? For me, it's a science of the mind. It's a way of how you can understand the mind. And when you understand the mind, you tend to treat yourself better and others better, and then there's harmony. At least that's what I feel it, my personal relationship with it. So what is Emma or Ani Pema's relationship? What does it mean to you, Buddhism?
I know it should be an easy question to answer, right?
No, I knew it would be a hard question to answer.
Yeah, but it's not an easy question to answer because we have Buddhism, which is an institution which has been created over thousands of years, which has lots of structures and ornaments and rituals, and it's human-made. Buddhism is human-made.
So that's what it means to you.
So when I hear the word Buddhism, it's something that humans made after the time of the Buddha, right?
Okay.
Yeah, from my understanding,
Okay.
right? To honor him, continue his teachings, but it's human-made.
That's what it means to you. Human-made.
It's human-made.
Okay, interesting answer.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting.
Yeah, so I think it's... a tough question. What does Buddhism mean to me? So I think my natural inclination is to probably not think of it in that institutionalized way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Partially because I'm female and I'm born in the West. The institution of Buddhism looks a very strange planet to me sometimes, right? So I think obviously the teachings of Buddha are profound, and the methods here in Bhutan are profound. And I believe that following those methods is transformative and begins to bring out our Buddha nature. That's been my humble experience in a very small way. But I'm still wary of institutions.
But how I look at it is, like, I think something similar to what you said is, like, I'm very, I'm a big skeptic. That's how I say it. Like, that doesn't mean I don't believe in certain things, but I like to look at the other side. Like, maybe if what you're saying is not true, let's look at that. Let's take that angle for a bit and let's see it from that perspective. Like, example, let's say I show you a magic trick. Like, you could say, oh yeah, it's a fun trick. Maybe like, you pull a trick on me, let's figure it out. So I'm somewhat like that kind of person. So when I grew up, I was like, I always say this on the podcast, it's a really broken record, but anyways, my mom and my dad are very spiritual. They always tell me, we're not religious, we're spiritual, but they're really like into it. My mom is like, she goes on personal retreats, she goes on teachings, she really like, she's educated me, she's like my root guru, you know. So, but as a young boy growing up in that kind of household, we tend to rebel. So when I went to college, I became this very, very staunch atheist. And I didn't believe that. I said, there's nothing. We're basically stardust in the molecules of a building.
You went to the other extreme.
Yeah. So I was like, there's no room for compromise. But anyways, long story short, I kind of found my way back to it. I've told the story before on the podcast, but it's long, so I just skip it in order to save boredom. But I learned my relationship, I got back into it. So at least in my way, how I look at it is, I believe in the dharma, but not always the sangha. So obviously we have to respect the teacher. Obviously they will teach you something. But sometimes you get questionable people who might not maybe teach you their version of what they believe in. So I like to believe in the dharma, but the sangha, not always. So that's how I look at least for me.
I mean, the ultimate refuge is always Buddha. Dharma and Sangha are temporary refuges, right? Even Dharma is a temporary refuge, right? Once you cross the boat, the boat of Dharma takes you to the other side. You have to leave the boat behind, right? So I think it's always helpful to remember the ultimate refuge is none other than the Buddha. So, yeah, we all have to accept ourselves as still human, don't we?
Yes.
And that's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. Okay, well, let me ask you a two-part question. Like, let's say from your past life, no, not past life, like past, it is somewhat of a past life, from that extreme to this time. What is something that was the hardest to detach from? And what is something which you are, like, one of the favorite things, at least the fondest things that you've taken from Buddhism? Like whether it be compassion or learning to detach or be mindful, whatever it may be. What was something from Buddhism that you really like, cherish, if that's the right word? And what is something that was hardest to detach from the corporate Emma?
I think the hardest thing to let go of is the one that most, which many religions struggle with. I think it is hard to be celibate. I mean, it's gone okay for me being celibate, but maybe it's not even about being celibate. Actually, maybe it's about. We have very strong programming that the way our life is going to go is we're going to meet someone. We're going to meet someone. And when we meet that someone, then the rest is,
it all makes sense.
Music and lights and lovely clothes. And it's just, and we're safe, we're there. Right? We're going to be there when we meet someone. Phew. Okay, I got my person, right? Now, obviously, that's a flawed idea, but it's a very strong programming in all of us, right? And that person is going to be our best friend, our confidant, our travel companion, our everything, right? Yeah. That's very strong conditioning.
Yes, that's very strong.
And I think when you adjust to a monastic life, the reality is after, maybe not so obvious in the beginning, but after years and years, that's the thing to adjust to. You have to work out, okay, who am I going to talk to if I need to talk to somebody? Who am I going to confide with?
Okay.
Can I have a friend still, even though I'm monastic? Can I have, Right, so I think a lot of our emotional needs are fulfilled by this idea of one person, right? Now, I'm not enlightened. I'm sure that's obvious to see. I'm still human. So you have to figure out a skillful way to make sure you're emotionally okay. And maybe you have a safe person to talk to, because being a monastic is not a walk in the park, right? So I think letting go of that idea of where your happiness lies, where that kind of stuff, I think that takes a time in the end to get right. Yeah. And therefore I can understand why there's, not only in Buddhism but in Catholicism, there's lots of people struggling in monastic robes with being celibate for lots of reasons. It's not necessarily just about a physical act.
Yes.
It's about the other stuff that goes around it, right? Anyway, so that's something there. And then your second question was, what do I most cherish about Buddhism?
Like, what is something from Buddhism, like, or from these teachings, or anything that you've learned in this journey, that, wow, this is something which I really hold value, and I cherish, like this lesson or this part of Buddhism that I really think that's made my life better, or I really think that's really something good or profound.
On the walk across Bhutan, it was 37 days, partially because it was 37 practices of a bodhisattva. I think studying the path of a bodhisattva, the vows of a bodhisattva, what they say, what they mean, I think that described path is the most precious thing, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting. Would you pick peace or compassion? I know that's a very black and white, this or that
you can't
question.
Really separate them like that, right? So
I choose, I'm not, it might be selfish, but I choose peace. I think
your own peace, you mean?
No, maybe my own peace. But let's say if someone needs help, I can be compassionate and help them immensely. But if it's at the risk of my own peace, then maybe I'll think twice.
Yeah, that you might want to investigate as you grow, right? You might want to investigate.
Yeah. So that's why I might be inclined to choose peace over compassion.
Yeah.
So what about you?
Yeah. I mean, what's the point of asking a question like this exactly? Well, what's the point of it? Why are we saying peace or compassion? What are we trying to get at here? I mean, and hardly anybody in this world is really peaceful. Hardly anybody is really compassionate. So, what are you trying to get at here?
No, I'm just saying, what do you think is more in your mind? I think this holds precedence over something. I'm just thinking.
So from a Mahayana point of view, seeking only peace for yourself is a limited mindset, right?
Okay.
And actually the antidote to it is to practice loving kindness and compassion.
Okay.
It's precisely the antidote to that approach. If you read
Okay.
Gampopa or something like that,
Okay.
right?
All right.
But I think we're I think we're throwing these words around like peace or compassion. I mean, these are enormous practices, and I don't want to set one against the other. The reality is most people are, held in the grips of greed or anger, and even these ideas of, do you want the God of peace or the God of compassion? It's far away, isn't it?
You cannot really pinpoint an answer. Okay, fair enough. Okay, let's move to a little bit different subject. So you told me you were a financial analyst.
Yeah, senior financial analyst. Get the senior in there.
Okay, senior.
Get the senior in there.
I see you still holding on to labels. Ani Pema, still
I'm
clinging on the past life. I caught her right there, people. You saw it. Okay.
No, I'm partially teasing you just because, in that life back there, there weren't many women there.
Oh. Okay. I understand it. I understand.
So
I know. I can understand.
Just for womankind.
I kind of get it, but I can understand. Yeah, but because I think in that kind of corporate structure, for a woman to achieve something is going to be extremely harder.
It was at that time. I think it's easier now, but it was at that time. So I'm just digging slightly.
So let's hear. Why do you think it's easier now than when it was before? Because I think the women in the workforce, at least, they still have this kind of same issues they had before, right? Am I wrong?
I think it is somewhat better now.
Okay.
I think it's somewhat better now, but obviously it's still a long way to go.
Okay. So
it's a long way to go.
Okay. But let's just hear from this corporate kind of standpoint. What kind of some things that you had to do, at least to get to the corporate ladder as a woman? They say as a man, you have man privilege. You don't have to be extra different. But as a woman, let's say, for example, this is my perception, could be wrong, is if you're bossy, as a man, you'll be he's got confidence. But as a woman, she's a bitch, she can't be, it's hard to deal with her. Or if you like very outspoken, like this guy's really he's really like, you know, speaks his mind. Whereas a woman's like, won't she shut up? Did you have this kind of similar kind of issues you had to deal with, like climbing up the corporate ladder?
I just tried to be the smartest one in the room.
But isn't that kind of exhausting?
Yeah, I guess it was, but yeah.
Do you think you like the person you were then?
I feel very sorry for the person I was then.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Why so? Can you expand on that?
Probably because they were tired.
Oh.
They were trying very hard,
Oh.
and they didn't really know why they were doing what they were doing,
Okay.
but they were doing it with a great deal of energy. When I look back at myself there, it's like I'm a kind of hollow person.
But did you, like, at least now looking back, do you know like what kind of your motivations were? Why you were doing the things you were doing? What was the end goal, so to speak? What were you trying to fill?
The reason I went into finance was because my father had died early, and he had always thought that I would be good in that area, and so I kind of went into it as a tribute to him.
Oh, okay.
So I think there was some degree of grief or sadness still there.
Okay.
So I think when I look back at myself in those swanky suits with those, you know, that kind of lifestyle, I can see the grief that's still within me at that time. Yeah.
Oh, so
You
it's
see
still
how
trying.
honest I'm being with you?
Yeah, thank
Are
you.
people usually this frank?
At least to me, I feel.
Yeah,
I think I really I have a knack of making people open up. I'm not sure, but then again, maybe you're just in a comfortable mood today to share. Yeah, but it's very interesting. At least in like my perspective, I've done this like the 100 and something episode, interviewing people. I'm like I mentioned, I'm restless. I have very little patience, so I cannot read, even though I would like to read.
You can't read?
No, like
Or you don't
I
read?
don't have the capacity to finish a book without full attention.
Oof.
Yeah, it's bad. I know. So what I usually do is like I go on Reddit and I find a book summary of some book I want to read, and I read like a
shortcut.
Yeah, shortcut.
Right.
Shortcut.
Okay. So are you goal orientated? Or are you
To a certain extent.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, but like sometimes you enjoy the journey rather than the destination. Like for example, last year I wanted to make a short film.
Oh.
I wanted to make a short film, and I said, "What? I'm going to get this done. I'm going to pull all the team together, work my ass off. I'm going to get it done." And once it was done, what I realized was I really enjoyed the process.
Oh.
I was like, I love what we made, and we're going to submit for a festival competition, but I don't care what happens. We could win, we could get dead last, people could hate it, but I really enjoyed the process. And that was really eye-opening for me, because people make a cliche, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, it's not about, but actually it's true, for me at least, what I felt. So I enjoyed it. So now I'm trying to be a little less goal-oriented, try to enjoy everything, enjoy the process. So even my podcast, when I started, I said, I want to reach one day 10,000 subscribers. That's a big goal for me. But once I actually eventually did, I was like, wow, actually, I really enjoyed the process. I met so many interesting people. And going back to the point of saying I have low attention span, I feel like when I talk to people, they like books, human books. So everyone, when we walk down a room of many people, we think like, this guy, perceptions of what this guy must be this guy must be that. But once you sit down and talk, you find like, wow, so many different perspectives on a single thing. Like 100 people could look at this flower, and we could have 100 different perceptions of this flower or what it could be. So it's very intriguing for me to meet people and having their perspective on whatever it may be. Like for example, like we talked about Buddhism. What is your perspective on that? So when I ask that question to some other people who may be like either a nun or practicing, they have different interpretations and all.
Sure.
So I'm very interested to find. So even I have my own version of it. Like I said, I barely know anything. So I'm always very curious to ask and try to learn. And then even if someone says something which I totally don't get or I don't understand or agree with, it's very it fulfills me that I can understand another person's perspective. Because I think as a kid, I was very, very shy, timid, talk to people, and that kind of made me a little ignorant. Because maybe I think like, that guy's an asshole, that guy's nice, or whatever. So at least when you go on, you talk to people, and then you can become a little bit, like aware, like, oh, I think that person's like this, because once all through my conversations, I've noticed people like this. I could be like that, So at this, it's kind of like I'm a big video game player. I love playing video games.
Okay.
So I feel like, have you heard of the game Grand Theft Auto? Where you
I've
just
heard
go in
of
the
it.
car, you
Yeah.
cause chaos. So basically,
I've
life
never
is-
done a
yeah,
game
but
like
anyways,
that.
life is like a
Yeah.
video game, I feel like.
Okay.
So you meet different characters, and you're all on the
Yeah.
same map. But the end goal, at least I feel like it might be the same for most people.
What is that then? What is the end goal for most people?
I think they all want to go to their somewhat version of their own heaven.
Is that what happens in Grand Theft Auto?
No,
Do
no,
they go to a
no. You
version
just
of
you just you
heaven?
just get a
No.
lot of money, and you can just
Okay.
do whatever the hell you want. But that's heaven in a way. Right? You just get a lot of money, you can do whatever you want. That's heaven. But I'm trying to now focus more, like I said, on the journey than the destination. So I like living all aspects of life.
So when the journey's coming to an end, you're about to die,
yeah,
then what?
then I have to learn to detach. What to do? It's been a great run. Life was beautiful. Now whatever holds after this, I have no control over it. So I have to accept it. I think the hardest thing about life, at least from my perspective, is when you cannot accept some situation which has come upon you. The denial really is the hardest part. But once you accepted it, like of course I love life. I want to live to 150. I want to put my consciousness in an AI and try to live my foreseeable future as a consciousness in a computer. I wouldn't mind, because I love I love existence. But everything which, if it stays too long, it's not good also. I think there has to be an end in conclusion. So hopefully when my time comes to end on this earth, hopefully I will be able to accept it, which is going to be difficult, I think. But yeah, acceptance, that's going to be difficult. But yeah, what to do? We'll try again next life. Sometimes some people try to trigger me. They're like, "Yeah, you know about this." It's okay. I'll try again next life. This life is just a trial. Just a trial. I'll figure it out this life. The next life, proper, I'll live it. All right. Anyways, Ani Pema, you have anything else you want to talk about? Any questions you want to ask me? We still got maybe a little bit more time.
So a Western person asked me the other day, they said, don't you think it's very selfish going into retreat?
Okay.
What do you think?
Oh, I never thought about it that way, actually.
No, I know.
I never thought about that.
Yeah,
way.
I know. But this
It depends. I think everything has context and depends. Let's say you have a family of 5 and you're the sole bread earner, and like, I'm gonna go in the mountain and think about life for 3 years. I think that's selfish. But I think you got everything going right, and you feel like, okay, if I do this 3 years and I come back and I want to help a lot of people, then maybe it's not selfish. I think that's it. It depends on the context.
So when somebody goes into retreat in Bhutan,
Yeah.
as a Bhutanese person, often people respect that.
Yeah.
But I've realized they respect it, but they may not really know what they're doing in retreat. So how do you, as a young Bhutanese person, when you hear somebody's going into retreat, what do you understand they're doing? What do you think they're doing? Do you go, okay, well, I think that's a good thing, but I don't really know it. I just have some faith it's a good idea?
No. I'm a curious person, so I've asked. But I don't know, but to a certain extent. I know like every day they're doing some practice, so maybe some mantra chanting with some pecha, and then reflecting and meditating on life, and then just trying to focus on that. And I feel like, because what I've let this my research, like in prison, the worst thing you can do to a prisoner, you know what you can do?
Put them in solitary confinement.
Like, exactly. So with the idle mind's the devil's workshop, they always say. So like when you're alone, your mind will play tricks on you because the mind is so powerful. And when you're in an isolated situation, it's extremely difficult, but also might be a little easier because there's less distractions. So it's like a battle with yourself. So I feel like those who come out of it are already instantly, they've like upgraded their levels of the control of their mind and everything. So I would assume that they're really like focusing on the power of the mind daily is going to be difficult. So it's admirable for me because of that.
Yeah.
But I don't know extent of what. Maybe some people are doing different things. But it's what my mom tells me is like meditate, read the mantras, recite them, reflect on it more and more to the point it becomes almost like involuntary. So that's my perception. And I feel like if I ever was patient enough or if I had enough willpower, I would like to try it once. But I know I can't. But then again, I shouldn't put myself in a box. Who knows, one day I might open my mind and say, you know what, I don't need a guy to put me at gunpoint. I'll shave my head and I'll also go over there. Who knows? But at least in this moment in time, I enjoy this life in this way. I appreciate monks. I appreciate people who choose their life of discipline because I lack a lot of discipline. But right now I'm not ready yet. But selfish, I don't know. It depends, like, the context.
I wonder, I think it's possible that as the decades go on from here, it'll be rarer and rarer to see people going into really undisturbed long retreat. And I hope it remains. Bhutan may be the place where it really remains. I hope.
Yeah, but I think as years and years go by, as my mom always says, that every generation more and more get degenerated or something like that. So I think like people are going to be less and less interested. But I think as a Bhutanese, since it's so ingrained, these values, like we're brought up with like by age 9, I know the Eightfold Path. Even though I might not understand it, I know that Buddha walked in Eightfold Path, and each month is like right speech, right action. We're taught like these values at a young age. So I feel like it's instilled with us, but whether you want to pursue it full on, you never know. But I think a little is okay.
Do you know what the Fourfold Noble Sangha is?
I should know, but right now I can't think about it top of my head.
Okay, the Fourfold Noble Sangha is a fully ordained male, a fully ordained female, a lay practitioner who's male, and a lay practitioner who's female. Those are the 4 legs of the table that the Buddha said were required for dharma to flourish.
Oh, okay.
So I think that, Bhutan now has that since 2022 when it fully ordained females, right?
Yes.
Bhutan became a country where the Fourfold Noble Sangha exists. And that's the requirement that the Buddha said for the Dharma to flourish. So I would really like everybody in Bhutan to celebrate the fact that Bhutan now has something which many Buddhist countries don't still have, which is the Fourfold Noble Sangha.
Okay, thank you for the information. I didn't know about that. So these 4 things are required for Dharma to flourish,
Yeah,
right?
that's
We
what
have
the
all
Buddha
that.
said.
Okay.
Yeah, now you have it since 2022.
Okay, nice. We're the only one.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
Not the only one. Okay.
But there are Buddhist countries that don't.
Oh.
Right? So when the J. Khenpo fully ordained females in 2022, he established a Fourfold Noble Sangha in Bhutan. Yes.
Okay, actually, let me ask this one question about discipline, since I think, at least from my understanding, you're a very disciplined person. I'm not. Like, to wake up today was a struggle, but it happened, but it was a struggle. And this is something which I really try to remind myself, because as Bhutanese, I think we're naturally procrastinators. We're not on time, we're not punctual, but that's because we're easygoing. It's not a bad thing also, we're easygoing. And I always try to, because I lived abroad for a bit, and I realized, living like the way I live in Bhutan is not going to cut it for my goals.
Was it a shock?
Huh?
Was it a shock?
Yeah. I live in Japan, so it was a contrast.
Oh, holy moly.
Yeah, it was a contrast.
Yeah.
Complete contrast.
Yeah.
Basically, in Japan, you show up 10 minutes early for a meeting, you're just on time. So it's a complete contrast. It's like, I say like I'm like Goldilocks. The bed was too hard there, the bed is too soft here. And I'm trying to find the, balance.
Goldilocks. What is it? The Goldilocks and the...
3 little bears.
3 little bears.
So
That's
she
it.
goes in the bed. The papa bear's bed is too hard, mama's bed is too soft, baby bear's is just right.
Just right.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find the just right. But anyways, like when I was in Japan, I was disciplined by a stick, not by choice. I had to. If I don't wake up or don't do certain things, either my boss is gonna get me or I'm gonna starve. Basically that's my options. But Bhutan, we're very community based, we chill. So you're like, it's okay, not today, I'll do it tomorrow. It's okay. But like, I find it really hard to motivate myself in terms of discipline. Like, wake up on time, do your goals, do this, do that. Like, what can you say, at least from your practice in Dharma and your job in your corporate position, like in discipline, how can we all learn to be a little bit more disciplined? I think which is really difficult, at least as a Bhutanese these days.
Well, I mean, monasticism is based on discipline, right?
Yes.
So, sorry. In one aspect, you see a lot of discipline in Bhutan, right? On with monastic life, particularly behind walls, getting up at 5 a.m. every day, actually that's the, monastic timetable is the ultimate discipline, right? Yeah. So I think you have it in Bhutan for sure, but maybe it's concentrated there a little more.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
As you
yeah.
say, it's good to have a balance. Mostly it's good to be able to be flexible, right? Whether we're talking about leadership, whether we're talking about how we conduct our own life, it's useful if you can sometimes be disciplined and sometimes be a bit more relaxed, right? The main problem with the human mind is it likes to stay in one path. It likes to repeat the same thing again and again, the same approach, the same method, right? So I think if you can learn to see a situation where this situation requires me to be disciplined, okay, then I'm going to bring out my disciplined foot, right? This situation is fine to be a bit more relaxed. I think the danger is if you only stay in one path, right?
Okay.
I think the human has the capacity to flex to a situation.
Oh, goodness.
And I think that's a useful skill to have, right? Don't you think?
Yeah. But like, okay, let's say when it requires you to be disciplined, how do you instill
Yeah,
that
like
in
this
yourself?
morning you did it.
Yeah, but like that's
Yeah.
one isolated incident. I don't think I can do this 10 days in a row. It's going to be very difficult, but I think it's going to be more of a struggle. Like, how do you think you'll make it easy? Or how do you make discipline easy? Yeah, that's a better way of saying it. How do you think you make it more easy?
You mostly, I think people, it's like testing out a method, right? It's like testing out a method, right? So when you use discipline, did it go well for you, right? So you used discipline this morning. It meant we met on time. We had a nice podcast. It was a nice result. Using the method of discipline got you what you wanted, right?
Okay.
So I think we just test it out like that, in a very, very simple way.
Okay.
For monastics, discipline is about vows, right? It's about keeping our vows. It's about keeping our integrity. That's very important. It's maybe a different thing for us.
Yeah, okay. But I think Bhutan are very, integrity is a very important thing. But I think since we're so casual and laid back, if you're not disciplined to that integrity, no one's going to hold you accountable. I think that's what I think.
I mean, I don't know. It's always dangerous anyway. It's always dangerous to characterize a whole nation with a particular personality, right? I think that's very dangerous because, for example, I know very well a lot of friends who have gone to Australia and other places. Actually, they're working really, really hard.
Yeah.
They're not laid back at all. They're being incredibly
No, I'm
disciplined.
speaking generally speaking. When you look at Bhutanese generally, it's like I always say it this way, like generally when we say it, there's like a rule we've established. The rule is, example, Bhutanese are laid back, we're chill. That's the rule. But there's exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
There are many exceptions. But when you look at it as a whole, we just see the whole as one. But there are many exceptions. Like I consider myself not disciplined at all. But when I went to Japan, all of a sudden, my God,
exactly.
I became this
Exactly.
military drill leader.
Yeah, exactly.
So there are exceptions to situations. But I think generally speaking, at least from the people that I've encountered, I've grown up in myself as well, I think it's hard for us to motivate ourselves to be disciplined for one reason or the other.
Oh, I don't know. Good luck with that then, right? Just good luck with that. If it works for you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, we have a lot of Bhutanese people who smoke. You just said you were a huge smoker.
I wasn't a huge smoker.
Okay, but you were smoking.
Okay.
So a lot of people struggle with quitting smoking. What did you do, or what did you say to people who want to learn or to try to stop smoking?
Okay, you probably don't want to follow my method now.
But let's just hear your it's a personal story. Whether people want
I can't
to go
believe I'm
for
sharing this with you.
the
Oh,
Emma the nun story, or you want to use your YouTube videos. Okay.
So, I definitely don't think you want to use my method. So actually, after the hostage situation, right, and we'd shared that cigarette, a few weeks later, I was in a building in Hong Kong, financial building called the Prince's Building. It's in the financial district of Hong Kong. And I was smoking a cigarette, and I did something that no smoker ever does. I put it out halfway through.
Okay.
I wasted part of the cigarette. No smoker does that, right?
Yes, I have no few, but it's rare. Yeah, okay, very rare. It's faux pas. Maybe.
And I thought at that point, I don't want to smoke anymore. And I think it did somehow relate back to what had happened to me, right? it was like I want to clear that memory entirely.
So when you were smoking, were you like remembering that moment?
I didn't think
constantly?
consciously, but I think somehow it related back, right?
Okay.
So then I thought, oh, I can do this with willpower. I'm a very determined person. I can do this with willpower. Right? Okay, little did I know. little did I know, right? Very difficult because your body is so attuned to it, right?
Habitual,
really, I just couldn't believe it. So then I went to the chemist, right? And there was these patches you can put on you to stop smoking,
The nicotine
right?
patches.
Yeah, and I literally covered myself.
How many?
I don't know. It was just like some kind of.
But weren't you getting like a
some
huge
sort of spotted
nicotine
animal or something, right?
huge nicotine surge throughout the whole day or something? Like, it must be constantly like, whoa! So how long were they on? Like whole day?
Yeah, I just covered myself in those patches.
Okay.
I didn't read the instructions at all.
Okay, I think only one is fine. I think it's,
don't follow my method. Yeah. Please don't follow my method, right?
Okay. So
and then I had like a really big party weekend in Hong Kong. And then I woke up on the Monday morning just feeling really, really bad. I mean, just so really, really bad.
Okay.
And so the combination of feeling really bad and covering myself with giving up smoking patches and determination, that was my method. But I really I don't think it's medically approved.
I don't think it's medically approved.
It should have lots of those warning signs
yes,
underneath it, but I did it. And that
Okay.
is what, 1997? So that's whatever, a long time ago. And
Okay, great.
but it's not easy.
Yeah,
It's not easy.
That's why I want to know how you got through it.
I really encourage other people to do it. I'm really pleased I gave up. I didn't smoke for that long, but in the high-pressure financial world at that point, everybody smoked. Everybody smoked in offices.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, screen, cigarette.
Bhutan has become like that now. Everyone's
really?
everyone's like,
In offices?
Yeah.
Not in
not
offices.
in the office, but
No.
smoke
Yeah.
break.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
Bhutan, in terms of our population, we have a huge number of ratio of smokers.
But I thought you thought it led to the hungry ghost realm as a rebirth. Is that?
We don't.
We don't care
There's a lot of irony in the world, Like actually, the funny thing is like the most common smoking zones in Bhutan are the no smoking signs. If you find a no smoking sign, I guarantee you 80% chance that's a smoking area. 80% chance. Okay, this is from a local telling you. But but I find that kind of like poignant. Oh, irony. Life is it's a metaphor. I don't know.
I mean, there is one method that I think could be helpful as well. Well, I read this book where the guy says, if you want a cigarette, you're trying to give up smoking, you want a cigarette, you go, okay, I can have one, but in 5 minutes' time. And then in 5 minutes' time, you ask yourself that's quite a good method, I think. But I guess all I'm saying is get all the help you need if you're trying to give up. Because mental willpower may not be enough. Because I am somebody with huge mental willpower.
That's what I believe with as well.
And I couldn't, so... Yeah.
What I realized was because I still smoke to this day.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, but I'm not a big smoker.
No,
so
I can't smoke. Usually I can smell a smoker, right?
Yeah.
Because the smell stays.
So I'm not a big smoker, so I'm
Right.
like, if I'm home, I'm not smoking. But if I'm like with my friends and they offer me a cigarette, then maybe I'll have one or two in the day. So I try to see like, okay, I want to stop because I'm not really into it also. I'm just like, sometimes it's like nice, pleasant stress relief. So what I realized was I was associated with time. Like you said, the body is so habitual. So it was like when I went to the workplace, like I would have a cigarette before lunch. So around like 12, my body would be like, I need a cigarette without me saying anything. I'm like, what the hell? And then after lunch, again, it's like the craving comes back. So I noticed that, okay, I'll just ignore this craving for like 3 days. Then the cravings become more.
Oh, do they? Because you've done it like you put it out there. It's like I'm trying not to see. It's the same like I said before. No, I'm not really feeling it. And the more you do that, the more it comes strong, right?
So then after like the week, which was difficult, then the next week, then the same craving didn't come again at the same time because I've now reprogrammed my brain to think the cigarette is only like towards the end of the day rather than throughout the day. So it's something like you have to go trick. Outsmart your own self, Yes, outsmart your own mind. So that's how I actually did it. But then it's not like I haven't stopped. It's like, but now I'm in control of it. Like right now, I'm like, I need a cigarette. Before I was like, but now I'm like, I wouldn't mind one. Do I need it? It's okay. If I have one, why not? Yeah. Anyways, guys, consider to these steps or not, or whatever. Now, speaking of finance, one final question before I go into a little bit towards the end. Young Bhutanese, one struggle is our economy, our livelihood, and you being a financial expert, you can always be about dharma, you need money to live life. What can you say about this, like your finances or in order to increase your income, like, as you being a senior financial expert.
You're never gonna
Like what kind of tools would you,
let me forget that.
what would you give us, like some tips about like what can you do better in order to make your finances better in life?
Oh my goodness.
Now I don't want to hear Emma. I don't want to hear Ani Pema. I want to hear Emma, the senior analyst, answering this question.
Well, I think the economic situation is better now in Bhutan than it was. I used to get very upset about the interest rates being charged by banks here. Am I allowed to say that? Am I going to get chucked out of the country? No.
As long as you don't specifically name a bank, you can generalize. You can generalize.
Yeah, I've heard theoretically.
No, it's true. It's true. It's true.
Very high interest rates.
It's true. It's true.
And on a basic level, you know, we all need to look at the inflation rate and the interest rate and the relationship between the two, right? Yeah. And the relationship between the two was like a very far away cousin, right? Like the inflation was here and the interest rates were very far away from them, right? Mm-hmm. So that used to concern me. And I think that that's not for the benefit of the population when it's like that. So I'm pleased to see that those two are coming closer now. They have a more close relationship with each other, right? So I believe that banks have to work for the service of the people. And I can't say that strongly enough. So, yeah.
I think banks are a scam though. Because basically you take our money, we put it in your vaults and safes, you take that money and you invest it somewhere else, you get that interest and then you charge us interest. So isn't that somewhat scammy?
I don't think it's a scam, but I think that banks have a big role to play in the monetary conditions of a country, in people's access to capital, and the wheels of the economy. Banks have a huge role to play, right? And so I just make a prayer to somebody that they realize the role that they have to play, and that goes well for everybody. I mean, it took me a long time to understand more about the Bhutanese economy. It's got many interesting and unique features to it.
Okay.
And obviously, I understand, especially when I did the walk across Bhutan, you know, in rural areas, we would meet older people, farmers, etc.
Yeah.
And they were very delighted their children had gone to Australia, because those children are the people that are going to ensure that their own parents have funds when they're old, because the pension is not existing really here for everybody, right?
It's only, I think, for civil servants,
yeah,
mainly, but I think corporate, some corporates.
Yeah, so when you have a country with no state pension, then and the children are providing that economic function in the end, then there must be huge pressure on them to earn some money, right?
Yes.
And so I didn't really understand all of those factors at first, right? So in many countries, the state provides a pension to people who are old, right? And without that, there will be strange forces at work to ensure that those parents, those older people, are okay, right? Yeah. So if I'd been born Bhutanese, with the personality that I had, 100% I'd be in Australia. Yeah. That doesn't mean that Bhutan doesn't have enormous potential as an economy. And I think the changes that are happening in the Gelapur Mindfulness City, the emphasis placed on easing the restrictions for foreign direct investment, the capacity to invest in US dollars rather than the non-convertible Niltrum, which is a lovely currency, but it's non-convertible. The entrepreneurial spirit, you know, opening up the processes for greater innovation and ease of doing business. You know, ease of doing business, right? I think it's very essential for Bhutan, and I think that's happening. So that's absolutely fantastic. But some of it's still in process. So for a young person today, I can really understand why they took that decision.
Yeah, of course. You can totally understand.
It's just, I think Bhutan, you know, I often look at Bhutan and think, okay, let me just think, what are the key, unique features of Bhutan that we can leverage? You know, is it electricity? Is it AI? Is it cryptocurrency? Is it the fact that the population are largely fluent in English? Bhutan has to know its competitive strengths in the world market. And I think that's being sorted out now, I hope. Okay. Anyway, what do you think?
What do you think the strengths? What are the strengths, though?
So
we can leverage, and at least which we can leverage.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, I don't know if I want to say that, but I think it's very important that Bhutan does not mess around and not see those and ask those questions. And if they don't find them, they have to have them, because investment, the process of developing businesses, you have to know, you have to have a strength over a competitor. You know, if your labor is more expensive than the country next to you.
Yeah. Our labor is more expensive, actually. That's why we have so much Indians who work the construction jobs, you know.
Yeah, so you've got to have high value-added skills. I think the fact that your labor force is fluent in English is a huge thing. We shouldn't take that for granted.
Okay.
I think we forget that because everybody is so brilliant at speaking English. I think that's a huge strength. The electricity, capacity to produce electricity, I think it still has a lot of potential. I know it's complicated.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's complicated.
But if you can increase on that, you can increase your electricity production all through the year. Yeah, sure. Yeah, all through the year using. I mean, I don't understand, why isn't there wind power in Bhutan?
Yeah, I always ask this question.
Yeah. Oh, do you?
Yeah, we have solar, we have hydro. Why don't we have wind?
Because when I was up in retreat near Dakapo, holy moly, was that windy. That was so windy.
No.
That was just beyond anything, right? And there's certain industries which are heavily reliant on electricity, right? So any country that can produce the cheapest electricity is going to attract those industries.
Okay.
So I think there's still, but I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm not DHI.
You were an
expert. No, but I'm not, right?
Okay.
But just work it backwards. Just look at the industries that need that cheap electricity. What are they, right? Where are they right now? What level of electricity cost do you need to be competitive and take that business? Right.
Okay.
When it comes to foreign direct investment, I think you've made a lot of progress, but I still need to emphasize to the Bhutanese that when it comes to foreign direct investment, apart from the currency issue, which is absolutely crucial, it's not about what industry, really, to be honest, what you're going to invest in. The key question is, can I repatriate my funds? Can I take my profits out of the country easily? I don't know what the situation is now, but for anybody looking at that, please make sure that you, and they probably have, okay? The key risk for an investor is you cannot get your money back. It's not actually which industry you choose, you know? It is currency, but it's mainly, do I feel confident I can get my money back? And what are the hoops I have to go through to get it? Are there any hoops? Because if there are hoops, I don't want any hoops. I'm sure Bhutan knows this, right? Do you hear people talking about repatriation rules here at all?
No.
I'm
at bars talking about girls and, you know, what do you call, who I'm going to talk to next week. It's not like, hey, did you think about the repatriating the economic situation? No, I thought about that girl in the corner with the big ass.
I don't hear it a lot in Bhutan, and I just presume that everybody knows about this.
Okay.
But everybody always asks me, which industry would you invest in? If you were to invest in Bhutan, what would you invest in?
Yeah.
And I'm like, first, I need to know about the repatriation rules. Only then would I even think about what I would recommend.
Yeah. Maybe you should be on the board.
You see how tough I am.
Yeah.
You see how tough I am with this, but yeah.
You say you're very tough and you're very like strict. Is there like certain rooms around it though?
Is there certain what?
Like rooms, like sometimes they say like, I do not like how this is being done. It's not under my what you call standard. But are you willing to like sometimes like, okay, I'll let it go. Or
let it go.
Like, no, it has to be this way.
How do you think I survived nearly 14 years in coming back in Bhutan? Of course I had to let it go. I've had to let go a lot. I'm here to tell you. I've had to let go a lot. Yeah.
But how did that process go? Like
you just have to, you just have to be humble. You have to realize it's not your country, it's not your systems, it's not your history, and it's not about me telling other people what to do, right?
Okay.
So, I can put these ideas in, but it's your country. I'm just a guest here.
Okay, but then as long as you assimilate long enough, I think you'll become part of this.
Maybe up to here it's
up to here maybe.
It's coming slowly. Slowly.
Okay, who knows? Another 5 years will be here. Who knows? Okay, we're towards the end of the podcast. Remember you asked me this let's do this.
Yeah, that beautiful, absolutely beautiful looking box. Do you do this every time with people? Is this like a standard thing?
It's like a thing, yeah.
But
sometimes we forget when they were
I feel under pressure now.
Just think of something you want to think about. Okay, touch the cards. Okay, touch the cards and then shuffle them around,
Shuffle them
and then
around.
pick one.
Okay, they are
But ask the
beautiful.
universe a question. Ask the universe a question. Ask the universe. Any question.
Are you going to use that word manifest now? You're not
I
gonna
like
use
the
that
word
do you?
manifest.
Do
I
you?
like. I used to be against it, but then this year I got into it, and I like it. As the young kids, they say these days.
Maybe I'll choose this one. Do I turn it over or do you turn it over?
You can turn it over. Okay, please show us what it is.
Transition.
Okay.
Transition?
Wow.
What's transition?
Transition.
Didn't I do enough transition?
Maybe some more. Some more
Did I not do enough?
Maybe some more required.
Okay, you think. Transitioning to what?
What is the number on the top?
43.
43.
I'm transitioning to 43.
Okay, 43.
Oh, God, I really thought I'd done enough transitioning.
Okay, you
Holy
can read this.
moly.
You can read this and towards the mic.
Okay, transition
Mm-hmm.
signifies the process of change and transformation, moving from one phase of life or state of being to another with grace and adaptability. That's that adaptability we need, right? This card also promotes personal growth
Mm-hmm.
by encouraging you to embrace change with an open heart. My charity is called Opening Your Heart to the
Ah!
Child. This is just all meant to be. Fostering resilience and I definitely got that, and the ability to navigate life shifts with confidence and ease. In the midst of transition, let the transformative flames of fire guide you, embracing change with courage and resilience, and trust that each step forward leads to new horizons and profound growth. That's apparently what the dragon speaks.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just imagining the dragon breathing fire
Yeah.
with those words at me right now. I mean, my whole life's been like that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I guess it's going to still
So maybe
continue.
there's another the next transition now.
Yeah, what do you
From
think
the-
that's going to be?
Who
then?
knows?
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it.
Mm.
You don't need to know all the answers.
Mm.
So maybe who knows? Something could happen from the financial expert, senior financial expert, to
Yeah.
the nun, to now what's next?
Astronaut?
Wow, that's a great. I would watch that movie. Okay. Actually, speaking of movies, since in our podcast we talk a lot about movies, we're big movie fans. Do you have any favorite movies?
Favorite movies?
Yeah, top 4 favorite movies.
Top 4 favorite movies?
Wow, it looks like you invested.
Oh, I thought you wanted to know about our movie.
No.
No.
Oh, you can talk
Other
about your
people's
movie.
movies. Other people's movies.
Yeah.
Okay, top favorite movies. Okay, Apollo 13,
Oh, okay.
The Killing Fields.
Okay, I never
Do you
heard
know?
that.
You never heard of The Killing Fields?
No.
It's about Pol Pot's regime in Cambodia.
Oh,
It's about the Khmer
I think maybe I
Rouge.
should watch. I'm interested.
That's an
that
awesome
guy.
movie, and it's got the most incredible music to it.
Okay, what's it called again?
The Killing Fields.
The Killing Fields.
The Killing Fields.
Okay.
It's a David Putnam movie, right?
Okay.
Okay, I've only got two.
You can name some more if
I
you
need
want.
three more. Okay.
You can name
movies,
some more.
movies. Erin Brockovich.
Oh, Aaron Brockovich.
Gotta have that movie.
Okay.
All the President's Men.
Okay.
You know that movie, right?
I've
You
heard of
looked
it,
a
but I never
bit
watched it.
Okay.
I've never watched it, but I've heard of
I'm
it.
feeling so old right now. All my movies are like.
No, don't
40
worry.
years
I
old.
also watched like
Yeah.
like movies like what's the word now? Casablanca.
Okay. I'm realizing none of my movies have been made in the last 25 years. This is not good. I think they're all like, overcoming adversity,
Okay.
big hero movies,
Yeah,
that kind
okay.
of stuff.
It's got something like a character within you.
Yeah. And then let's say Kundan for His
Oh.
Holiness the Dalai Lama. Let's have that.
Scorsese.
Right. Yeah.
Scorsese
So we've got
directed
those
that.
5.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm not sure if you're
Do I
fond
get a
of
badge
lace.
or something now?
No,
Or-
you just
no.
you just we like, if the audience
Yeah.
we like watching movies, so if they are interested, they can check some of
Oh,
your
yeah.
recommendations.
The Killing Fields is
Okay.
just a mind.
I think-
because it's based on a true story. I like stories. Apollo 13, or Evan
Oh.
Brockovich, Killing Fields,
Oh, you like true
Kundan,
stories.
I
Oh, you
like
love-
true stories.
Are you interested in true crime?
Like what?
So true crime is like the subgenre of podcasting where people discuss morbid stories for example, it's not none of this is
What,
really
like being held hostage in a...
yeah, that's a true crime
Hey, it's a
story.
true
We did a true crime episode. Oh, I didn't realize that was a true crime. But
We
that
got
one at
it.
least had a good ending.
Yes,
But
yes.
most of the true crime stories
Oh,
have
they
very
don't.
morbid endings. Like a man, had an affair, and murdered his whole family in order to be with her. Stuff like that. Samsara, indeed.
Oh.
But anyways, going back to the point, I'm not sure. Do you eat any snacks?
I can do. What are you offering?
No. So in Bhutan, where we have a lot of Lay's potato chips.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're Bhutanese people, we love Lay's.
Yeah.
And then
can
I have
do.
now associated each color of Lay's with different flavor to a personality.
Okay.
So do you have a favorite Lay's flavor?
I just like ready salted.
Okay.
I'm so.
No,
boring.
don't worry. That's my favorite too.
I'm so boring.
That's
okay,
my
all right,
favorite
that's
too.
good.
That's my
yeah,
favorite
I'm
too.
just a ready salted kind of person.
Okay, salty
Yeah.
person maybe. Yeah. Okay. All right. Final question before we end this podcast. Let's say tomorrow you demise. I just had to delete a file and the space was fine.
okay.
It was not a battery problem, it was a memory card. Okay, tomorrow you're dead. Okay, it was easier word.
Yeah.
You know it's going to happen. Today is your final day on Earth.
Oh, okay. I already
Okay.
know it's going to happen. You've told
Yeah.
me like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Get ready. It's happening.
It's
yeah.
happening. Or you just know it. Okay. What would be your final meal?
Final meal.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I'm going to think about.
Yeah, but
Who
let's.
cares about what I'm going to eat when I'm about to die?
Okay,
That's
but
the
but
last
now
thing.
but this is going to be your meal.
Okay.
You know it's your last meal, so you want to enjoy it. So what would be in your last meal?
Well,
It can be a course, not multi-course. It can be gluttonous.
Okay. Pressure. So I'm going to have potato wedges.
Okay.
But these ingredients don't really go together.
It's okay. It's
So
okay.
is that
It's
all right?
your
It
it's
doesn't
your
really-
personal
doesn't really
final
go
meal.
together.
You can
Okay,
get it.
cherries.
Cherries. Okay.
Yeah, really nice ripe cherries. I mean, a cheesecake, if it's well done and it's not like as heavy as a rock.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm also a fan of cheesecake.
Maybe, yeah, and then maybe some actual cheese. I'm a bit of a real cheese fan. Yeah, something like that. I mean, I just don't think I'll be thinking about.
Yeah, but then
eating.
forget about that. Forget about the sad part. Forget.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the now. I'll have a nice meal.
Okay, yeah. I can't think of anything else.
So cheese, some potato wedges.
Cheesecake, potato wedges, and cherries.
Oh, so you're a big cheese fan. You came to the right country. You came to the right country.
Yeah, that's all I can think about.
What
And
about beverage?
Beverage, I would probably have a non-alcoholic beer.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Why? Why? No, why? Were you a beer drinker before you were a nun?
No, it just I just quite like non-alcoholic beer, like on a hot day.
It's nice.
I'm dying tomorrow, so it's not going to be that hot tomorrow. Is it? Okay, just in
you're
the
predicting
middle
the weather
Can I
of the
die
day.
in the middle of the day when it's
Okay,
really sunny?
yeah, you
Then I'm
can,
going to have this cool, like ice,
Non-alcoholic beer.
non-alcoholic beer.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can approach death with a clear mind. Very important.
Okay,
Right,
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Very interesting.
What do people normally say for that? What would you say? Would you have some big, some
Yeah,
big banquet?
I have a big banquet. I'll have. I'm a big foodie, so I'll have like, some Bhutanese food. I'll have some Chinese food, some this food, some desserts, some booze, everything.
So you're just going to approach death with this massive stomachache?
Yeah. No, by that time
Oh.
I'm dying, it's not gonna even feel the stomach ache.
Really? Are you sure?
I hope not.
You'd be like lying on your right side. Oh no!
But I was like,
please,
wow,
why did
that
I
was a
eat
meal.
So much.
That was
Get me
that was a
some
meal.
Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah, but that was a meal. That was a meal. Now let's see what awaits.
I just don't think we're thinking about death in the same way, Si. I just don't think we are.
I think relationship with death is a little different. I'm like, I don't want it, but if it comes, what to do?
You're
I'll
going to
accept
eat a
it.
big meal.
I'm gonna eat a big meal. I'm gonna come
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like thinking, oh, I'm dying soon and cry. No, I'm like, oh, I'm loving this steak. I'm loving this pakshasikam, you know.
Oh.
It's just sad look. I got such a sad look.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such an important moment.
Yeah, but
Such an important moment. You're going to stuff it full of food.
yeah, yummy. What about you guys? Okay, Ani Pema, thank you so much for coming.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
It
It's been
was a
really enjoyable.
really
I
enjoyable
hope people enjoy the conversation.
I'm sure they
So,
will. I'm sure
yeah,
they will.
my reputation as a good nun is wrecked now.
No.
No, it's like you smoked. You're
No.
a senior financial analyst.
I think it's good to know that everyone has flaws. Okay, you cannot be this perfect statue. Even a crack will be there. Wabi sabi people.
But
wabi
now I'm
sabi.
doing better. Now I'm doing better.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, now I'm doing better.
But anyways, thank you
Yeah.
so much. Towards the end of our podcast, since I could not offer you anything more than hot water, we usually use this moment if you want to promote anything to the audience.
Oh, okay.
So for
Wow,
example,
I didn't know that, yeah.
So for example, sometimes we have singers on the podcast. So like, can you please check out my new music video? Follow me on Instagram. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
So what would you like to say to our audience finally?
Oh wow, that's fantastic. Yeah. So I guess mostly it's my work here in Bhutan. It's called Opening Your Heart to Bhutan. I have dedicated 10 years of my life to it. I am older and have more grey hair because of it. And as I still want to continue helping in Bhutan, if you want to join me in helping a little bit, you can look at our website and get involved. Or message me personally. I answer every message about the charity myself. I don't have some little assistant on the side helping me.
You just said you're the right-hand man, though.
Well, no, he doesn't answer any
Okay.
of those emails, so right, yeah. And so, why not help me help others? That would be great.
Right, and then also look forward to the documentary which
Yeah,
Ani
about the
Pema is
walk.
making us about the long walk. So
Across
yeah,
Bhutan.
so do check it
Yeah.
out when it does come out. Okay.
Yeah, it won't be out until next year.
Yeah, okay.
And we hope for an international launch at the end of next year. And it's all with the Bhutanese film crew, right? It's Bhutan made, and I hope Bhutan will really love it.
Okay. All right. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All right. Have you figured out what you want in the background?
Oh, well, let me see. Don't know. Should we just have potato wedges?
Potato wedges.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, we just talked about potato
Okay.
wedges.
Potato wedges, editor.
Yeah.
Please
Yeah.
figure it out. But
Just
don't
have
make it too
potato
yellow,
wedges.
so it'll be too
Yeah.
jarring. Okay. Anyways, thank you so much.
Oh,
okay.
no, my pleasure. My absolute pleasure.
All right.
So hopefully that was okay for your
No,
audience.
I'm sure they enjoyed it.
Yeah?
I'm sure. If you don't, then leave a unpleasant comment. I'm just kidding. Like, share, subscribe. Okay. Anyways, thank you so much. If you watched towards the end of the podcast, do consider subscribing. If you watched because of this face, please consider subscribing to this face. And thank you to our podheads. One more time, we look up. Podheads, thank you so much. Podhead Pro, Dhoti, Pema Samdrup, and Ugyen Tech. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, so finally when we end, we do one clap. So one single. Okay.
Together or separately?
together.
Together.
So-
Oh, we got to get our timing right.
So right, okay. Until next episode, thank you. Bye bye. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
The pressure.
Okay, thank you so much.